Ko te arapuru, Sounds.
They are a gift straight from the atua. They have many uses.
Mai mo ia ku pusa maleo fo ai ese le whaalongo ka ngaka o le mako ba'al. O le ba'au mako le ba'al.
In my mother tongue language from northern part of Pentecost, we call it taifa. There are different callings for different things.
Before they come into the bay, that is when you hear 2 or 3 they played from out there.
I grew up in the village of Nofoali'i in Samoa, where stories, myths, and legends of the culture was told and shared in family gatherings. Now, through those experiences, I developed a love for stories about how things came to be. One of my favorite stories is that of a chap named Tau'ili'ili, who snuck into the underworld and ended up going toe-to-toe in an earlier form of Samoa Olympics with a deity giant named Mafue, which is Samoan for earthquake. And no matter what task Mafue put in his way, Tau'ili'ili would emerge the winner. The most famous of his victories came from an arm wrestling match that cost Mafue an entire arm, and Tau'ili'ili returning to our realm with fire or afi, thus signaling the beginning era of Samoan cooked food. In the same context, the conch is said to have an origin genealogy component to its birth. I want you to close your eyes, block out the noise and sounds of today. Place yourself as far back as the 8th century Moana, when oratory relaying of knowledge was the only form of preserving our being. Open your mind and receive.
Akiukiu anau, nā te mamao, nā te tārere. E mamao ua, e tārere ua. E pūrewa me tua kore. Norto mai te kore, anau mai te kore.
What you're hearing is the genealogy of the gods, right down to the birth of the Pū or Conch in Reo Kuki Airani Maori, recited by Maeva, a native son of Mauke in the Cook Islands.
At the beginning was the kore, the nothingness. From kore came the pōtangotango. From nothingness came different shades of the night, of the pō. There's a raka, the overlord of all things, the wind. Rongo, of course, that's to do with auditory perceptions, the sound. One of the gifts then the children of Tangaro is then the pū, the shells. I think the story around the pū overall in the Cook Islands is basically the same. They have many uses. The main one that we know of it today is in dance, welcomes, calls, and welcoming of dignitaries to call for them to come. But most importantly, the purpose that I really want to remind everyone is that the pū is really there to clear the space.
Our ancestors had a system of government in place, working effectively, long before the arrival of the missionaries in 1823.
Before anything is done, before protocols are to be had, that's really its purpose. It's blowing to clear the space, to clear the negativities, to bring positivities to the surrounding, to the protocols, so that those protocols will run smoothly.
Clearing of the space is a concept shared right across the Moana Islands. It's done as part of a process, either before a task or as part of a chant, or in some instances to acknowledge and close off gatherings, a function also shared by the Tahitians and cousins from Hawaii. It comes from our understanding that these lands we call home are shared by both the physical and the spiritual. As we come into our season of service to the land, we must acknowledge that we're walking on whenua and earth previously cultivated by our ancestors who have transitioned to their spiritual existence from their previous physical selves.
They always cut a hole there or cut a hole here. But see, when they cut the hole there, Look at this here. It goes up. Or if they turn it that way, see, it goes down. To overcome that problem is drill it through here. Make sure that the most important part is the opening facing that way. Then you add that piece. Some of the remote islands, they're still using it in sports to let everybody know that we are ready to start. Traditionally, it's for fishermen. When they go out and they catch, their catch is good. Before they come into the bay, that is when you hear 2 or 3 they played from out there, meaning that the catch is good. We want people to come and help us to unload the catch.
Mangkuasola, e kofu a ina mapa. Sa kau kuai a inga awa mangkuele ni fale oloa. Ele ai ama se nga samia nga su e mai me ka mafai makau si ai. La ngai fa kali uma le paveao. Wa le paveao mangkuai o le fia fi va ele pa le po. O le paveao la e ke fa alongo kai pe o le fa ili. Sau o le kau fa ili. Manga kuala fo la ili mai. E rongo fia le ai ngai le fo la ko va. Ile linga ma le leo le la ko fo.
That is the only time. If the catch is just enough for food, for feed, they will never play it. The only time you hear, if you're in a village, you hear takelea, wow, let's go. And the whole village, they go and make sure that they help to unload it, or it must be a good day out there.
Nowadays, the poo is mainly associated and visible in the Cook Islands and Tahiti via entertainment and the opening of ceremonies. Now, in Hawaii, the poo is heard when welcoming arriving waka, during traditional wedding ceremonies, as well as the greeting of the day's first sun rays. It is known as Davui in Fiji, where nowadays you'll hear it during the gathering of chiefs and calling people to church in certain villages.
In Vanuatu, we call it bumbu shell. A chief, there all the time, they calling their people. There's this a conch shell. We have this a drum, tam-tam, to communicate with our distance, to tell when. Now the meeting is on. The meeting is going to start. Then with a tam-tam, with a conch shell, like they're arriving, they're arriving, they're arriving. But we can't say anything because they are very, very highly manned. A conch shell talks on our behalf.
Edgar's sharing on the Vanuatu function of the bumbu shell, or the taifa, as it is known in the northern Pentecost region of Vanuatu, reminds me of a narrative shared by the peoples of the Moana. Human to human, we speak, we talk. Human to the divine or the ancestral realm, we use sound, we use rhythms.
Toi te ara pūru, Sounds.